Hello children, in this video we will continue with the third chapter in geography, that is exogenetic movements part 1. In the previous video we learnt about mechanical weathering. Today we will learn more about chemical and biological weathering. Let's start with chemical weathering. So there are two experiments here to find out how chemical weathering takes place. The first one is with chalk and water. So children, when you put some pieces of chalk into a glass of water, what do you think will happen to it the next day? So first, the color of the water changes and the calcium carbonate in the chalk gets slightly dissolved in the water, making it whitish in color. In the second experiment, you need to wrap few iron nails in a wet cloth and open it after 2 days. After 2 days, you will observe that there are stains in the cloth which are red in color, and this all happened because the iron nails get oxidized on coming in contact with the water from the cloth and gets rusted, and this causes the reddish color stain on the cloth. So children, water plays an important role in chemical weathering. Rock is a mixture of many minerals. Water is a universal solvent. So you all might be knowing about this, right? Many things get dissolved easily in water. The solubility increases because the matter has dissolved in water, and those materials which do not dissolve easily in water gets dissolved in such solutions. In areas that receive heavy rainfall, chemical weathering occurs in the following ways, like carbonation, solution and oxidation. So now let's learn about carbonation. The rainwater travels through the atmosphere before reaching the ground. Carbon dioxide in the air gets mixed in the water in this process. Dilute carbonic acid gets formed because of this. So materials like limestones gets easily dissolved in such kind of acids. For example, water plus carbon dioxide is equal to carbonic acid. That is H2O plus CO2 is equal to H2CO3. Now let's learn more about solution and understand it. Some minerals in the rock get dissolved in water. Limestone is formed due to chemical precipitation, means rainfall or snowfall between water and alkalis. At Vadgaon Darya in Ahmednagar district, limestones get precipitated chemically. That is, it undergoes chemical weathering again and again. Similarly, because of solution, alkalis in the rock dissolve and make them brittle. Brittle means what? Crystal type. You can see that in the picture. Now let's learn about oxidation. So this process occurs in rocks which have iron present in them. The iron in the rock comes in contact with water and chemical reaction takes place between iron and oxygen. Hence, a reddish colored layer forms in the rocks. This is called as rust. When you kept the nails in the cloth, that is a wet cloth, you might have noticed a similar thing that we did in the experiment. Similar process occurs in rocks in areas with high or heavy rainfall. There are many more processes involved in chemical weathering besides the one that we have learnt earlier? Daily life examples are like moistening of salt in rainy season or apple slices turning brown, etc. Okay children, now we will learn about the third weathering, that is the biological weathering. So besides mechanical and chemical weathering, biological factors are also responsible for weathering of rocks. Have you visited any fort? Have you seen trees growing on their minarets? You also must have seen pieces of rocks getting separated because of the roots of the trees. As the roots grow bigger, they create tension in the rocks and start breaking them. Ants make large ant hills. Rats, mice, rabbits, and other worms and insects make burrows in the ground. These animals are called burrowing animals. So because of their activity, weathering of rock occurs. Besides these, algae, moss, lichen, other flora, etc. grow in the rocks. They also help in weathering. Now we will learn about mass movements. Let's see what are mass movements or mass wasting. The weathered rock materials start moving along the slopes due to gravity and get collected near the foothills or near the gentler slopes of the mountains. This process has been happening for years. The weathered particles form a conical heap at the foothills. When weathered particles move down due to gravity alone, the process is called as mass movements. Mass movements occur in two ways. It is rapid on steeper slopes, while it is slower on gentle slopes. Now let us learn more about rapid mass movements. Rockfalls, landslides, land subsidence, that is sinking of land, occur very rapidly, that is very fast. Their effects are very destructive and dangerous. The certainty of these events is more in the regions having humid climate and steeper slopes. A quick layer of weathered materials form on the slope. When it rains in such areas, the rainwater enters into the weathered materials and their weight increases. The weathered materials move very rapidly and come down the slope. Example, the mudslide at Malin village of Pune district. Sometimes the weathered materials do not move towards but sink into the same place. They do not go down. This is called as slumping. Such rapid mass movements may also occur because of earthquakes. Now let us learn about slow movements or slow mass movements. So in areas with dry climates and gentler slopes, mass movements occur slowly. Soil creep is a common phenomenon in such areas. In periglacial areas, that is an area adjacent to a glacier, the slopes, small layers of soil gets collected because of the movement of soil. This is called as solifluction. Now let us learn about erosion. So children, like weathering and mass movements, erosion is also an external process. Erosion occurs through various agents like wind, running water, glaciers, seawater, and groundwater cause erosion. So, we will learn about all these agents of erosion and the landforms in detail produced by them in the next lesson, that is Exogenetic Movements Part 2, which will be for your first semester. So children, here we have completed with the third chapter. I hope you understood it. Take care children.